Good day everyone. Last week, I posted a question asking for those nurses who had a negative experience with staffing agencies and their direct agencies coming here to the United States. The reason for that question is because I've been receiving a lot of DMs about nurses having negative experiences or poor situations after going through those agencies. And these kinds of scenarios or situations, I do not wish any one of you guys to experience or undergo the same situations. So the best way for us to prevent this from happening to us is by learning through their experience. And we will discuss this in details. And of course, I will pitch in some of my comments or 2 cents about these scenarios. Also, I hope the recruitment agencies will listen or learn from these scenarios in order for them to be able to correct or make some adjustments in their sites in order for them to provide a better services and in a way make themselves more marketable. So, let's start. I saw your post on Quota. My staffing agency is blank 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 partners. I was recruited by a direct hire agency. However, she was denied by direct hospitals because she only had like 50 bed capacity for her current experience, even though she previously worked in the tertiary hospitals. And adding to that, she also had 13 years working experience without a gap. So take note of this if you're planning to go with direct hire agencies. Some of them are picky when it comes to some of the criteria they want for their prospects, staff nurses or registered nurses coming to the United States. With them, I think they prefer to have at least 150 bed capacity. The bigger the bed capacity, usually the better the hospital is. They provide more services. The hospital has more equipments, more services provided for different cases. So overall, the nurses would have more experience working in bigger hospitals. So I think that's a reasonable requirement for them. So if you're planning to come to the United States, it's best to find a bigger hospital for you to work in. Or you will be able to have a better chance on finding a better quality hospitals for you to work in here in the United States. So let's continue. So the direct hire agency told her that they have a staffing agency and they are deploying nurses in the hospitals located in California. The first time I ever heard this is with Nanay Nurse. She posted that she went to a direct hire agency and that direct hire agency was going through a different staffing agency. Like there's a middleman in between the hospital, like the direct hire agency, staffing agency, then the hospital. So something like that. So that's the first time I ever heard about it. So for her, she read the contract well, did her research, and ended up not signing with that agency. Because like she said, she was like under a direct agency, but she is signing under a staffing agency. Which she didn't sign because she doesn't want to sign under staffing agencies because of the disadvantage that they have versus direct hire agencies. So for new nurses there, if you were given low ball offer, do not get it. Okay? Don't sign it first. Better try to find other options. Go check the other direct hire agencies or other agencies that would offer maybe a different or a better offer for you. Don't sign first, okay? Don't sign. The best thing for you to do is to do your research, find other options, then after that, decide. You always have an option. You just have to find it. So let's continue. She said she was attracted to the offer and signed with them. Then fast forward after 2 years, luckily there are other states na they're deploying nurses, like in Texas. They had a change of mind because they were thinking that it will take long time for the license endorsement for California. And yes, it does. It does take a lot of time. And according to that staffing agency under the direct agency, while waiting for the license for RN license, they can work as a PCT, which is a no for her. So for those who don't know what PCT is, it's like you're working as a CNA or a nursing aide. So that's a different term for them, but most likely the workload is the same. And honestly, you don't want to do this. Working as a PCT or CNA is hard work, really. You have more patients and the kind of care that you're going to provide most likely is a physical kind. So it takes a toll on your back and it is quite tiring, really. So like in my previous hospital, one PCT is equal to 22 patients. So that is heavy. But I think California has a better mandates for these kind of things. So I think they might have a lesser number of patients for those CNA or for those PCTs. But I'm sure it is still heavy. Plus, working as a PCT means you get to be paid lesser. So, nope. It's better for you just to wait for your RN license than to work as an RN directly. Then she said, I will go to US soon with my family, but I regret signing with them. Based on previous and current employees which they said there's no night diff and no holiday pay. Honestly, I never heard of this. Normally, there is. Usually, there's a night differential and holiday pay, unless you're working under a travel nurse agency. So, like for me, I don't have those kind of things. I have a fixed rate given from the time I signed the contract. But it's okay because I get to be paid a lot versus a regular staff nurse working in that particular hospital. So, yeah. So that's typically normal for travel nurses. But for first-time nurses coming here to the United States and working as a staffing agency or as an agency nurse that doesn't have a travel nurse rate, I don't think so. You should fight for it and make sure there is a night differential and holiday pay. Night diff for us before is like additional $1 per hour. Then for the holiday pay, it's like times 1.5% of your hourly rate. The best thing you can do here is to check your contract. Normally for the contract, it says there if you have those kind of payments or pay adjustments when it comes to those kind of days. So make sure to check that first. If not, ask them directly. Don't be shy. Talk to them directly. Confirm with them if this is true or not. Okay? Then yes, regret would always be at the end after signing the contract. So it's best for you to do your due diligence before signing those contracts or find an alternative first. Okay? Then let's continue with our email. Then with regards to her reimbursement, like for the NCLEX, IELTS, and visa screen, the agency will reimburse after 6 months. So what if you don't have enough pocket money coming here to the United States? So that is her question. So sad to say, if that's their standard SOP, then you can't do anything about it. Normally, it will reflect on your contract about those reimbursement. So if there's 6 months and you want it to come earlier, so the best thing you can do is tell them to adjust it. Tell them to give it to you at least 2 months or within the 1 month because you need certain budget for this particular period because you don't have enough funds for you to bring here to the United States. So yes, you can do that. So normally, like for us travel nurses here, we do demand for some of the things to be written on the contract. So I think for you guys, you can do the same thing as well. You just have to be firm and don't settle. So if they don't want to change the terms and you're not comfortable signing those things, then don't sign. Okay? So try to find another agency if you can. Or make them feel that you have an alternative option and you might go to a different agency if they do not change those terms. For my staffing agency before, they gave us the reimbursement within the first month. Of course, they gave us a check. So in order for you to cash those checks, you have to have an account. So for us, we didn't have the problems because I think within the first week, we actually got it. And we had to use that money to deposit on our first checking account here in the United States. So if you're coming here to the US and you have a tight budget, make sure to check this or make sure to read this properly or ask your agencies about their policy for reimbursement. Then she said, for the housing, if you are coming with your family, they will not provide a free housing for that. Also, they won't fetch you from the airport, unlike the other staffing agency starts with the A, which they provide a better assistance when it comes to coming here to the United States. And she feels like she just signed a contract with a direct hire agency wherein there's no assistance. For the free housing, I think that is unfair. And that should be stated on your contract. So you should check that first to make sure it is written there. Honestly, that's not fair for the staffing agency to say that they will not cover the cost of their family. If ever you're coming here to the United States and you'll be staying for a month, and I think it's best for you just to get like an Airbnb so you can bring or accommodate your family and expenses will be the same thing. And it will be a better scenario for you and your family, really. Then since you sign under a staffing agency, you still feel like you sign under direct hire. And yes, direct hire agencies normally don't really help you with a lot of things. I have a few colleagues here who went here through direct agencies and they haven't even seen their recruitment or recruiter ever. Nope, not even once. So the means for communication with them is through emails and cell phones. So for them, when they arrive here, they were just instructed how to get to this certain place. And the transportation cost going from that airport, going to their place, will be reimbursed by their direct hire agencies. Then other things will be done through mails and emails in order for them to do some of the transactions that normally staffing agency will do personally. So yes, normally don't get to have a lot of support if you're going through direct hire agencies, but not all, okay? Not all. So it's best for you to ask these kind of scenarios on what will happen to you when you arrive here in the US, and best if you can have them to put it in writing. For recruitment agencies, I really wish you guys will be able to provide these basic things for us. When we arrive here in the United States, it's really hard for us to adjust and deal with a lot of things because we are not sure on what we are doing actually and how things are to be done. So I really wish you guys could provide at least 2 weeks of everything that we need, basically transportation, means of communications, housing, and other things in order for us to adjust first before starting our work. So if you guys have these kind of things, I think you will definitely have more clients knowing that you have taken care of your clients well when they arrive here in the United States. So if you want more clients, then it's best for you to provide better services in order for you to gain more of those. Then she said that since she has 2 types of agency, she's not sure which one she's really under with. So for this, I think the best thing you can do is to refer to your contract. There you can see who's ever really in charge of your case coming here to the United States. Then she said it's really frustrating, but she will fight. She will fight. Yeah, that's how I translated. And thanks for reading, and please put her as an anonymous sender for the email. So there you go, guys. That's her situation coming here to the United States. My best advice for this scenario is please learn from her mistake. Make your due diligence in reading the contract and doing your research about the agencies you'll be signing with or the contract you'll be signing on. In order for you to have a better future or better transition coming here to the United States, it's best for you to ask the questions. Ask the questions and have those things written on those contracts that you will be signing. That will help you have a better transition here in the United States. I know most of us are excited to sign those contracts in order to leave our current situations, working in the Philippine settings or in Singapore settings. But based on experience, I can tell you based on experience, please do your diligence first, okay? You have other options. You do. You have different options that you can choose from. The only thing you have to do is to contact them and ask them and check with them for your specific status if you qualify for their programs. So most likely, you can do those things through emails or through their websites. So hopefully you learned something from this video. We'll try to do this weekly. I'll be reading 1 email per week. Aside from the other videos I'll be posting. But for this kind of videos, we'll just do this like a podcast thing. So don't expect too much pictures or too much, you know. So for these kind of videos, we'll just be doing this like a podcast type thing. So we won't be adding a lot of features or anything like edits. So it will be faster and I could read a lot of these emails to you guys. And you will be able to learn from their experiences. So if you like this video and learn from this video, please click the like button, subscribe button, and please share it to your friends. Again, I'm Nurse Juan de la Cruz, your OFW nurse. Thank you for watching. God bless. Bye-bye. Stay safe.